Alright, now we're going to attach the snap. This is the bottom part of the snap, and this is the top part. Oh, a little fuzzy there, sorry. That's clear. So the top part snaps into the bottom, or the male snaps into the female. I only always embellish the top part, this part right here. Don't touch the side, because if there's a bead in a way, nothing to snap into, excuse me, it defeats the purpose. So here's a snap here, no beads added. I'm going to open it up and put the female part, bottom part to the side. Here is the top part here. Get my panel. And where am I? Let's see. Okay. I want to weave through this panel so I can get to a bicone. So I'm coming out of this bead right here. I'm going to stitch down and weave until I can get to a bicone. Any bicone, doesn't matter. They're all the same at this point. Or at any point, to be honest. Okay, so here's a bicone right here, and I'm coming down out of this bicone. I'm going to call it bicone 1, just so, yeah, for orientation. So this is bicone 1 right here. I'm going to get my snap. See the flat part sits down on top of the beadwork. We don't want to do this. That'll defeat the purpose. So I'm going to stitch up. I'm going to call this hole 1 of the snap. We've got 4 holes on these sew-on snaps. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to call this hole 1 right here. Stitch down through hole 2 and find the bicone that I exited. And stitch down through the bicone like so. And pull my thread. And of course, you can reinforce that. I'm not reinforcing because I don't want to speed through this. And then I stitch through bicone 2. And then I move my snap out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Stitch up through bicone 3 right here. Here's hole 3 of the snap. Here's hole 4, and up through bicone 3. Here we go. And now you have your snap attached. Of course, reinforce that as many times as you're comfortable. I usually do like 3 times, as many times as there's space in the beads. But there you go. Don't worry about attaching this to the bicones. I mean, a bead is a bead, and in this case, because we have doubled our thread, or if you're reinforcing, you've reinforced, there's enough structure and you don't have to worry. And there's also enough flexibility, so you don't have to worry too much if this is going to cause the bicones to break or anything. It's secure, it's fine, all is good. So yeah, that's how you would do that. I hope I mentioned that this is a size, this is a 10mm snap. I hope I mentioned that, but this is a 10mm snap. It's a pretty big one, but it's secure and it's big enough for this project, so I like it. So there you go. Here is the bottom part of the snap, and snaps right in, and this is very comfortable actually. You would think pushing on the bicones it'd be kind of uncomfortable, but it really isn't. Feels nice and soft. I guess because it's cushioned around the 8s. That could be it. I'm not totally sure why it's so comfortable, but it is. Let me see. Let me get a panel of right angle weave. I thought I had one. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there it is. Alright, here's a panel of right angle. Alright, it's not gonna work. Alright, here's a panel of right angle weave right here. And I'm just going to show real quick. Oh, my thread is doubled. So I need another needle. One second. Okay, I've got a needle here. Here's my panel of right angle weave. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through this real quick. Normally I would follow the thread path of right angle weave. I would not stitch across like that. That's just deplorable in my world. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Like so, because I'm exiting this middle bead right here. And I'm going to make sure my snap goes over that bead. So if I am stitching left through this bead here, I'm going to stitch up through this hole. I'm going to call it hole 1. Lost my needle again. Hole 1, and then I'm going to stitch down. I'm going to call this one hole 2 of the snap. And I'm opening this up so you can see what I'm doing. And I stitch left through that bead I exited right here. Like so. And then you'd reinforce that. Again, reinforce that as many times as you're comfortable, as many times as the beads will allow. Like so. And there it is. And you can see that the seed bead actually sits on the inside, like the well part of the bottom part of the snap. So there it is. You tie off your thread. Here's this top part right here, all nice and embellished. Snap. There you go. And it sits like that. You can also, I will undo this real quick, show you something. You can also give it a little gap. I'll show you what I mean by that gap in just a second. Okay, so exiting this bead right here in the center of the panel, I pick up another 11 and attach it to that middle bead. I reinforce. So you see that added bead right there. And then come up through a hole in the panel, I'm sorry, in the snap, and go down the next one right here. And then through the added bead. So this is the gap right here. As you can see, the snap is not completely on top of the right angle weave, so it gives a little space, just a little bit of extra gapping right there. So it's almost seamless. Instead of it overlapping like it was before, it's almost seamless. So depending on, you know, what look you're going for, either way works just fine. So you can add that added bead to the right angle weave or not. It's up to you. But there you go. That's how you would attach a snap clasp. I've got videos on that on YouTube, so I'm pretty sure if you follow me long enough you know how to do that. But I really like this panel and I wanted to show you how I did it. So just in case you want to use it in your future projects on your bracelets or even a necklace, I think this might be really nice on a necklace too. So there you go. I have one more video to show how to attach another kind of closure to this exact same panel. and that will be part 3. So I'll see you in that one.